Okay, we got cut off there. So this is going to be part 2, and you can see I went a little further on my stuff here before I realized it had cut off. So I'm just going to show you what we did here. So again, to find the slope or the input variable, I had to do y minus y and x minus x. So I had these 2 points. This point is 0, 50, and this point is 10, 0. So I did y minus y, and I just did that because that's the easiest one to do. 50 minus 0 is a little easier than 0 minus 50. Now, the second one's not quite as easy, but that's what we're going to talk about. So 50 minus 0 is your top, and then my x, again, I have to follow the same way. So if I went from this point down to this one, I got to go this one down to this one. So 0 minus 10. So when I do that, I get 50, and I get negative 10. 0 minus 10 is negative 10. So then using my math skills that I should know as an 8th grader, I remember a positive divided by a negative is a negative. Again, we have a negative slope here. 50 divided by negative 10 is negative 5. Okay, and in this situation, if we talked about it like we did before, you got a $50 gift card to a coffee shop. In this case, every time you go there, it costs you $5. That's that negative 5. And as you see, after 10 visits, you would have $0 left on that card. Okay? And the last one. This is similar to the one about the plumber. Again, the very first thing I want to look at is this point right here. Okay? That is my y-intercept. That is the number that goes at the back. That's plus 50 in this situation. And I'm going to take 2 points. And I would just probably pick these first 2. These are pretty easy. Again, this point is 0, 50. And this point is 2, 100. Okay, so I'm going to do y minus y and x minus x. So I'm going to say 100 minus 50. Okay. So if I went 100 minus 50, I got to do 2 minus 0. Okay, then when I do 100 minus 50, that's 50. 2 minus 0 is 2. 50 divided by 2 is 25. And again, that's the number that goes in front of the x. That is my input variable, my slope. And again, in that situation, this tells me that the plumber is going to charge me $50 just to show up at his house. I'm sorry, to show up at my house. I'm not going to his house. $50 for him to show up at my house, and then it's $25 per hour after that. Okay, so if I know, hey, I got to, it's a big job. 4 hours of him being here is going to cost me $150. Okay? All right, the last thing we're doing is we're going to be writing equations based on a table. So we're going to look at a table, and again, guess what? Yeah, you got it. You need to find the y-intercept. Again, that's the letter B. And calculate the slope, which again we should also know is our input variable. And we're going to be using y minus y and x minus x to do that. And again, these numbers don't really mean anything other than the 2 different y's, 2 different x's. And then we're going to write the slope, we're going to write the equation in the form y equals mx plus or minus b. Okay. So again, we're going to do the same 2 things we did before. First thing, there's your y-intercept right there. Anytime the x value is a 0, that is your y-intercept. So that's the number that goes at the back. Okay, I know there's going to be an x here, and now I just have to find the slope by doing y minus y, x minus x. So I'm probably going to start with this one. This seems pretty easy. 70 minus 50. Okay, so 70 minus 50 is my top. And then 15 minus 10. Again, notice I went the same way both times. So 70 minus 50 is 20. 15 minus 10 is 5. When I divide 20 by 5, I get 4. And there is my equation for that one. So if we look at the example about going to the health club or the gym, this guy gets charged $10 just to be a member, and then every time he shows up, it costs him $4. And from there, you could figure out, oh, if I go 15 times, it's going to cost me $70. If I go just 10 times, it's going to cost me $50. If I don't show up at all, well, they're still going to charge me that $10 fee to be a member. Okay, second one, same thing. Now, whoa, let's focus back in there, baby. Here we go. Focus, there we go. Now, in this one, you don't see a zero value. You don't see a y-intercept. But since these are linear equations, they have a pattern. There's a pattern to all these. So 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 would be the next one. And let's see the pattern here. 25, 20, 15, 10. Okay, so I kind of need to build onto this a little bit. So if I kept going in this pattern by taking away 5, the next one I would have would be 5. And then the next one after that would be 0. So there'd be 2 more columns here if I just kept going. So every time I went down 5 this way, it was going up 10. So plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10 is going to make this 70. And then plus 10 again is going to make this one 80. Now I know that that's my y-intercept. So I'm going to write that plus 80 at the back. I know there's going to be an x here. I know I got to do y minus y, x minus x. Okay, now you can go any way you want, again, just as long as you go the same way both times. So if I'm doing my y's first and I saw 30 minus 40, I might not want to do it that way. I might go the other way, 40 minus 30. That's totally okay, as long as you do the same thing when you do the x's. So 40 minus 30, and then since I went left to right this time, I got to go left to right this time, and that's when it gets a little tricky. 20 minus 25. So let's do the top. 40 minus 30 is 10. 20 minus 25 is negative 5. If you're not sure about these, just use your calculator. It's not really supposed to be a crutch, but sometimes you got to use it just to make sure you're getting the question right. And then 10 divided by negative 5 is negative 2. So negative 2 is the number that goes in front of that. Our slope is negative. And again, this is that same situation. And this, like the one we had earlier with the gift card. She has an $80 gift card, and every time she goes, it's costing her $2 to spend. Okay, every time she goes, it costs $2. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Last one. Here we go. This is the plumber again, so same idea with the plumber. Now again, we don't have a zero value, but we can see the pattern. 8, 6, 4, 2. If I just went one further, I'd get to my 0, and then I got to figure out the pattern this way. So 280 to 220 is minus 60, minus 60, minus 60, minus 60. One more time would be 40. So now I know this is plus 40 at the back. Okay, that's my y-intercept. That's a real easy way to find the y-intercept, is look for the x value to be 0. And now I got to do y minus y, so I would probably just do 280 minus 220, which I kind of just found out. Then I just find out that the pattern was 60. And I knew the pattern going this way was 2 because I counted backwards. So 8 minus 6 is 2. 60 divided by 2 is 30. And that tells me that this plumber is charging me $30 per hour plus that one-time fee of $40. Okay, so a little bit long when you get these 2 videos put together, a little over 20 minutes. But again, we're doing these in class, so focus. I don't like that. You gotta. There we go. Why do you keep doing that? So we did this in class. We have time to do this the first half of the day and then work through some questions together after that. And hopefully it's going to help you. Hopefully you'll see this is a pretty easy thing. And also hopefully you're kind of remembering all the stuff we did right before the break. So again, Happy New Year to everybody, and we will see you on the next video.